Hello everyone and welcome to the introduction to my Materialize CSS tutorial series. Now in this kind of introductory video, I'll be going over all about what Materialize CSS is, and I will be going through a simple example, which is my own website, of what a Materialize CSS site could look like. So yeah, let's go ahead and just get started. We are going to begin with the introduction to, or we are going to begin with the setup of our development environment. So you can go ahead and skip to the actual coding if you already have VS Code set up. In addition, I would like to kind of forewarn that you should have, or I am expecting that you have basic HTML and some basic CSS experience going into this, just because Materialize is kind of like a utility CSS framework, whereas like you should at least know the very basics, I think, before using it. So let's go ahead and get started with setting up VS Code. So you can just go ahead and search up VS Code into Google and then click on the download little pop-up here, and you can download for your version. Once you kind of get the installer and you run it, you will be left with this program right here, which is, it'll look something like this. It'll look bluer because I'm using a theme, and you won't have all of these folders, but it'll for the most part look like this. And to get started, you want to hit File, Open Folder, and then you just want to open up the folder that you are kind of working with for your code. And if you don't currently have one, just go ahead and create one, and you'll have something like this. It'll be like a folder. And then once you're in that, I want you to now go and install the recommended extensions for this tutorial series. So we are using something called VSCode extensions, which basically add extra features to the program to help us writing our code. So just click here on this little icon with the 3 squares and the extra square here, and then search HTML CSS support. And then go ahead and click this. There will be, if you can see, there's a green install button here. There will be a green install button here as well. I already have it installed, which is why I don't. But go ahead and install that extension, and then search up live server. Go ahead and also install this, and then finally auto rename tag. Go ahead and you can install this one, but actually I think I might just grab the higher rated one. Not sure the difference, but just because it's higher rated, I might just install it. So I'm going to go ahead, and now that I've installed this, I am going to reload. You can see there's a button that says reload required. You can click on that, or you can do Control-Shift-P, Command-Shift-P, and just type in reload, and it will reload your window. And now that that's all working, we can go ahead and just check this off. Although actually this auto rename tag seems to not be working from those errors, so you know what? Just come back here to this extensions thing. I'm gonna uninstall this one. I'm gonna reinstall this one that I already have, just so I don't get any unexpected errors. And again, I'm gonna do Control-Shift-P and then reload my window. So now that I'm here in my README, I'm just gonna quickly check all of these tasks off for the introduction, and we will move on to the Materialize introduction. Now, like I said previously, Materialize is a CSS framework, which is basically an add-on to make it easier to write CSS. It's based on Material Design, which is a kind of design paradigm made by Google. It features like this kind of look overall for buttons and UI elements and stuff like that. Cool thing, one of my favorite features of Materialize is just this waves effect. When you click buttons, it's just this nice animation. So I really enjoy that. So you can use this website for reference. You can kind of see all of their pieces to their framework. I'm going to be introducing color today, and I'll probably be going into further kind of depth in the next video. So once you have Materialize, or once you're on their website, you can go ahead and click on their Getting Started, and come here, and it says CDN, and just grab these code pieces kind of, and then create an index.html file. And again, I am assuming you have basic HTML experience. Use an exclamation to do an emit abbreviation, and stick these links into here. And this will kind of just bring Materialize into our website. Now, quickly to change gears, I am going to do a small demonstration of like what can be made using kind of Materialize, at least principles. This is my personal website here, and it was made using it was made in React and using my own CSS, but in addition, a tiny bit of it was Materialize. For example, like I said, you can see that little button animation right here. This is Materialize, where like it kind of does, this little light up effect. Down here where there's these little cards that kind of, or these accordions that kind of come out when you click on them. This was also Materialize. And then these little cards here with the shadow, as you can see, were also Materialized. So I have, this was the first CSS framework that I learned as a beginner. And this is still to this day one of my favorite tools that I use when I create websites. In the future, I might consider using Tailwind a little bit more since I kind of learned it somewhat recently and I did a recent tutorial series on it. It seems very interesting and very useful for quickly developing things. But my favorite thing about Materialize is it comes out of the box with these kind of animations and little fun tools that you can use in your website. So to actually write our code, we have the basic HTML setup and the example. We are just going to quickly introduce colors. So basically, I'm going to click the Go Live button down here to start up our live server, and that will bring us to our website. And here inside the body, I will just create a simple H1 that says Hello World. As you can see, that's working. We have this H1. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Materialize also changes the default font. Yeah, this is what it looks like by default, at least on a Windows on non-Materialize, and Materialize makes it use a different font by default. So Materialize is like a full-fledged framework that will attempt to help you design an entire website, but if you would like, you can overwrite some of the styles and only use it for whatever part of the website that you want to. So in order to actually use it, you add classes similar to Tailwind, except, for example, if I want to make this thing blue, I just type blue-text, and it will create the color on the text itself. So if we come here to their website, we can click on this little hamburger menu, CSS, and then color. And this is the reference that we can use to kind of base our own code on it. So they have all of these different colors that we can use. And basically, let me just show you, for example, we can add a green background to it by just typing green. And the text will have a greenish background. That doesn't look great, but we can actually do lighten -5, for example, and that will lighten up the background like that. Lighten -4, lighten -3. So now we have blue text with a green with a green light background, basically. And of course, these styles can be applied to divs as well. In fact, I'm going to apply some vanilla CSS here just to give it a height of maybe 200 pixels and a width of 200 pixels, because if I'm not mistaken, I don't think Materialize has built-in sizing. But then from there, we can make the background red, for example. Not the style. We add a class and then give it a red background like that. And now we just basically have that. So Materialize, like I said, to kind of sum up what it is just a CSS framework that will give you a bunch of classes that we will be exploring throughout this tutorial series that basically add functionality to our HTML, which is really cool. So if you want to see these videos as they come out, highly recommend you check out the playlist, which is linked in the description. I'll be uploading tutorials on Materialize daily until I finish this series. If you enjoyed the video, please consider giving it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for notifications whenever I post new videos. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.